Hey everyone, it's Loomer. So I'm bringing you one more match from the live stream session I did with Machinima before the game comes out. So for this last video, I thought we'd take a look at a Wanted match. Because Wanted was, my favorite mode in Brotherhood. It's the mode that got me hooked on AC multiplayer in general, and I still really liked it in ACR, even if it wasn't quite as good as Brotherhood, I think. So for this match, I chose the Preacher, who's a new character. He's a really cool character. Some people have kind of compared him to Kung Lao. You can kind of see a little bit of resemblance, I think. He's got some really cool kill animations. I like him a lot. So we're playing Wanted. The map is the Animus Core on Night. We'll talk about the Animus Core later because it's probably one of my favorite maps that I've seen so far out of it. So just as I gotta put this disclaimer at the beginning of all the videos to kind of explain in case people haven't seen the other ones. This is taken from a Machinima live stream event that I helped them out with very recently, this last Thursday. So I don't actually own the game yet, and I'm playing with a couple people that work at Machinima and another guy who does like Minecraft videos. So we'll start off, like, my free running skills have not improved since since ACR. I still do stupid things with them. But so basically, I'm playing with a bunch of people that are really new, and then I'm also not playing with any whispers because I had my headset off during the live stream so I could chat with people. Get a nice little first blood grab kill here. Grab kills are still 450 points, so same as they were in Revelations, which is pretty cool. I thought that was one of my favorite changes from Brotherhood to Revelations, to help reward taking out the roofers. Here's another thing too: you can stun people that are hiding in hay bales now. This is kind of a, I don't know, I think it's kind of a side effect of having the merge kill and stun prompt be one button, but also it's just a really cool thing to have, I think. So anyway, so I'm playing without whispers, so if you see me sometimes kind of run into my pursuer, that's at least partially the reason why. And then I also, excuse me, didn't invert my camera like I'm used to, so sometimes you might see me, I'll see, like right here, I just run right into this guy. It's really dumb of me. That was a nice kill though. Sometimes you might see me like looking at, like, way up at the sky or something really weird during this match. So hopefully that should explain kind of what's, if you're wondering, like, on the screen, like, why are these guys so oblivious? Why is he looking at the sky? Why is he walking straight into the pursuer? That should help probably, that should probably help explain a bit of it. So Animus Core, I really love this map. It's so cool. Normally I probably wouldn't really like this map this much because it's fairly roofy and big. Although I don't know if any of the maps, I don't know, we can talk about maps later, but I don't know if any of the maps are really quite as bad as the ones we've seen in some of the other games. But so the basic idea of the map, if you haven't heard about it before, is that it's New York, but the Animus is still, it's only partially loaded. So when you get to the middle of the map, which you can see I'm kind of walking away from right now, you can see most everything's built up. Like, most of the buildings are intact here. There's kind of panels here and there that kind of, the bricks kind of fade away to reveal the Animus kind of core type thing in the background. Oh, here's another case where you can see when you kill a civilian, like I accidentally did, it just suspends your contract instead of losing it. So I still had the red code as a contract. You just have to wait a while before you can kill or stun again. That's the penalty for it. So anyway, the middle is mostly loaded, but then when you get to the edges of the map, it just gets really, like, crazy. Like, it's just all Animus type stuff. And I've always loved kind of like the futuristic modern day stuff. So right here, the game actually was a little late in clearing the contract on the red coat I just killed, so I thought I still had to kill a red coat for whatever reason. That's why I killed a civilian. Use knives to get a stun, like you can still do, as I mentioned in one of my other videos. I've always really loved the kind of like the futuristic look of stuff like Desmond's Journey and the Lost Archive. I wasn't a huge fan of the gameplay for those, but like visually I really loved that, and it kind of the Animus Core visuals kind of remind me of all that. So I really love this map, and you can see later on, once I get to the edge of the map, you can see kind of some of the custom stuff they've done for like lifts and hay bales and chase breakers. That's just so cool, and it's like kind of crazy because it's kind of like a one-off animation they made. Okay, I rush in for the kill here to try to get an ambush bonus to kind of show that off. So you can see right here, Reckless, and then Ambush 100 points. So Ambush is one of, I think it might be actually the only real new ability. Not quite sure how I got that stun. That was pretty lucky. I'm sorry, not new ability, new bonus in kind of the free-for-all modes. So Ambush is just if you kill your target when they've been in line of sight of you for less than a second. you'll get an extra 100 points, and it counts towards your variety too. So I've already gotten a bunch of variety bonuses at this point, so at this point I'm trying to kind of go more towards, try to hit an extreme variety. It's still pretty easy to do, as you guys will see. So ambush, I talked about this with Damien in my E3 interview with him, but this is kind of to help reward people. You know, a lot of people, when the change was made from Brotherhood to Revelations with the new approach meter, were saying, I can't cut my target off and get as many points anymore, even though that's kind of a valid strategy. So this is kind of a way to kind of compensate those people. Okay, so I'm going for variety here, so I'm going to grab an acrobatic on this guy. So it's pretty cool. So you guys can see how that works. The nice thing about ambush bonus is it actually works on stuns as well. So you can if you can get an ambush stun, you know, like a corner stun or whatever, you'll get an extra 100 points. Here's something that's really interesting. So I threw my knives at this guy because I thought he might have been my pursuer, but I go up and it turns out that he's actually not after me. So that's actually a pretty big change from the previous games where you couldn't knife people who weren't your pursuer or target if they were other players, and the game would give you kind of like an error message. So you could actually kind of use it to pick out your targets or pursuers. Sorry, your pursuers. You use it to pick out your pursuers in that sort of way, and now you can't do that anymore. So that's kind of interesting. Check out this chase breaker. Isn't that freaking cool? I really love that. And then this hay bale too, with kind of like floating Animus polygon leaves. And then you can see the lift right there as well. It has this kind of crazy like glowing thing. I just love the visuals for this. Well, some people have compared it kind of to Tron. It's kind of Tron-esque, and I kind of agree with that. And it's, you know, I love the visuals for that as well. Okay, get a nice little acrobatic kill on this guy. Start to run away because I hear. Pretty sure someone's after me. At this point, I'm looking at the sky because my controls are inverted and I'm still not used to it sometimes. So right here, trying to bait a chase so that I can get one more for my extreme variety. And here you can see when I enter the blend group, it fills up so quickly. Like the chase is over really quickly. And so another caveat that I forgot to mention earlier is this is not the retail build of the game. This was just kind of like a dev copy that they had at the Machinima offices. So it's entirely possible some of this stuff might change, but I don't know, I thought that was pretty crazy. Here I'm taking advantage of the no stun prompt to try to get focus, and with that incognito I hit the extreme variety. So extreme variety, as we all know, was fairly, you know, at least somewhat difficult to get in Brotherhood. For Revelations it became much easier with all the different bonuses they added, and it turns out that in AC3 it's even easier than that. Again, with the inverted camera going crazy. Oh, that was so frustrating for me. So so because in AC3 you can get bonuses. There's also the new ambush bonus, which will give you a new bonus, and then there's also even the basic kill counts towards your variety. So here I'm going to try to use my money bomb as a chase breaker. So, but it kind of fails and I just get knifed and killed. So the idea of using money bomb as a chase breaker was explained to me by Damien when we were talking about it at Comic-Con. The idea is that you throw the money bomb down, and then all the NPCs nearby will kind of, you know, swarm in to collect it, and so they help kind of block your path. But I think I kind of threw it in kind of an awkward, bad spot that wasn't really close to any NPCs, and so it was kind of a really dumb spot for me to do it. And then he just used knives anyway, and so, you know, these guys were pretty new, but they did do some surprisingly smart plays. Like right here you saw my target go after his pursuer first before trying to kill me, but I was still able to take advantage of it. But and then earlier you saw the other guy who was chasing me use knives to stop me and kill me in the chase, which was really smart. So it was really, as you know, these people played pretty newbie sometimes because most of them hadn't played this game before that day. But to their credit, they were asking lots of questions during the live stream. I tried to help them out as much as I could, and they made like genuine improvement, I think, here and there. So it's actually pretty. I was actually pretty happy with how most of the live stream turned out in that regard. You know, they actually showed some willingness to learn, some more than others, but definitely. Okay, so here, you know, I thought I would try to get a hidden focus, but in the end I just decided to go for the hidden, get the streak. You might notice that the streaks, when you hit a kill streak, it uses the old Brotherhood sound effect for when you get a kill streak. It's kind of like almost like a drum beat type stuff. Really cool. It's really nice to have that back. I always like the sound of that, and I kind of missed it. This guy, I've been kind of farming for points a little bit because he's been seeming a little oblivious, so I'll grab a nice little incognito focus off of him. Although, I mean, I feel kind of bad for him too at the same time because he's actually playing really stealthy. You'll notice he's like kind of just walking around the map. He's not trying to go in high profile almost ever. But unfortunately, I'm just kind of taking advantage of it. And eventually, I get a little too, like... I kind of start to wonder how far I can go with this, and it kind of ends up biting me in the ass here. You'll see this. So, you know, this guy, I've already gotten a whole bunch of focus, like, silent or incognito. So I figure here, I can probably do a focus hidden possibly out of this, and then out of nowhere, he suddenly stuns me. And I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. And I get kind of lucky here. I don't just completely die from these two guys here. And he just became my pursuer, so that was just bad luck for him. He probably didn't even realize that I was right next to him. Yeah, and so you gotta remember that especially for new players, you know, they don't see a stun prompt, and if you if you try to stun someone who's a civilian, you'll end up killing a civilian, and then you'll suspend your contract for, you know, many seconds. And so I was actually pretty happy he finally, you can see even in this match how he caught on. It's like, oh, this preacher that's always following me, I should probably turn around and stun him. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's kind of the Wanted match. I'm actually very excited for Wanted. I think the addition of the ranged ability kind of helps a lot with kind of a lot of the problems I had with Wanted in Revelations, I think. So I'm very curious to see after we really start playing Wanted a lot, if it turns out to be as fun as I'm hoping it will be. But I'm very hopeful for it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed all these videos from the Machinima livestream stuff. Hopefully it gave you a nice little preview of how the game is going to look. I'm very excited to go pick up my copy this week, and look for a bunch of multiplayer videos once the game comes out, and also we'll be doing some more podcasts for both single player and multiplayer in the future. So until then, I'll see you guys later.